Hey everyone, what's going on? I wanted to make a quick video, hopefully a quick video, on sort of my opinions on why I don't think that Halo Infinite is as dead as everyone thinks it is at this point. Now, if you've been living under a rock for the past 2 weeks, or you just haven't been following pretty much anything in regards to Halo or I guess gaming in general, 343 released this fall winter roadmap, I think like a couple of weeks ago by now. And safe to say that it really did not go over well with pretty much anyone in the community. Um, I guess they just didn't temper expectations, like because when Sketch said that they were going to, he tweeted that they were going to emerge from their cocoon, meaning, months of silence, and I guess just gave expectations that a lot more was going to be shown with this roadmap. Now, I'm not going to go too much into my thoughts on this particular roadmap because it's basically been done by like 1,000 people at this point, and there's really not much else to say. The only thing before I get into my couple of my reasons why I don't think Halo is as dead as people think it is until some few things come out in the future. I mean, in my opinion, the major thing wrong with this that everyone basically looked at first was all they saw when they looked at this roadmap was basically that season three was delayed. And in place of season three was sort of like a season 2.5, like not an official season, but it was called the winter update. Now, quickly, I mean, in my opinion, all I would have done, honestly, is just, I guess their PR is, I'm not going to lie, their PR and the way they market things is definitely a lot to be desired. I mean, honestly, they really should have just named the winter update. They should just keep it season three. I mean, call this season three, guys. There's no reason to call this the winter update and then give off the vibe, or not the vibe, but just give off like, hey, we're delaying season three for another 4 months, so it's a 10-month season. But in the meantime, we get this winter update. Like, in my opinion, they should have just called this season three, and then season three here should have been season four. I mean, that's my opinion on the matter. I understand why they didn't do that because each season has a theme. So this is called Echoes Within. Season two was Lone Wolf. Season one was, Heroes of Reach. So they want like a central theme with each season where it's, new narrative events, a new battle pass with a new armor core, yada, yada, yada. But I mean, honestly, if they just named this season three and this season four, I'm not saying that that would have alleviated a lot of the issues with this roadmap, but I feel like then it wouldn't have that major emphasis of, oh my God, season three has been delayed again. All they do is delay stuff. Oh my God. So it's like, that was stupid in my opinion. And if they just bumped up a few things from here to here, I think it would have been okay. I think we honestly as a community knew that Forge and the network co-op we're probably going to be delayed from late August and September into kind of like wrapping it up within season three. So that's not too big of a loss. But honestly, if they were able to get the custom games browser for the release of the Forge beta in November, that would have been a huge win. If they were able to do that and they were able to get the bandit rifle and the shroud screen, if they were able also to bring that over to November, so we would have the Forge beta with the custom games browser, new bandit rifle, new equipment with the shroud screen, network co-op, two new maps, and if these were dev maps instead of Forge maps, again, that would also make this seem a lot better than it is. Now, we don't even know what these maps, I mean, they did show how they looked, but again, everyone just emphasized and just hung up on the point that they were, even though made by devs, they were made with Forge and not like the in-house tools to make maps. So that's what everyone focused on really was, oh shit, they're just Forge maps. It's bullshit. But I mean, they still look pretty decent. But if they were able to put two dev maps here instead, and then, yeah, we don't have a 100 tier battle pass for this season, But they could have just been, well, we're going to do a 30-tier battle pass, similar to how they explained it in the video, honestly, just saying they're going to test match XP beta. So in the future, you don't need to do challenges to increase your battle pass. So what we're doing for season 3 is we're doing like a mini reach, all the reach armor that you guys wanted. And then for some reason, Sean was like really condescending explaining this for some reason. Like I know fans are kind of annoying about this reach armor, the CQB and whatnot. I will agree he was a little bit condescending. I'm not sure if that's his intention, but that's what it sounded like. But anyway, I mean, just doing a free 30 tier with all the reach armor that was cut out, saying, hey, we're going to be straight up. This armor and all the stuff that was in this pass were going to be in the store as paid bundles. But what we decided to do was, take it out. We're putting it in this totally free battle pass. And not only that, but we're testing match XP. So now, in order to get battle pass experience in all 30 tiers, you don't even need to do our in-game challenge system. You just need to play the game how you want it, and you're going to be able to acquire all 30 tiers. We know this is not a 100 tier battle pass, but we're going to be testing this out for season 3. Boom, that's all they needed to say. And if they were able to bring a few things, like I said before, custom games browser with the beta and the bandit rifle and the shroud screen, this season 3, and if they called this season 3 instead of the winter update, if they did all of that, I don't think there would be any issues. I think people would actually be happy with the roadmap then. Of course, that's a lot of what ifs. And then, of course, then this would be Echoes Within would be season 4 technically. And then, we get some new maps here. These are actually dev-made maps, including a BTB map that, according to Joe, is one of their largest BTB maps to date. So a lot of vehicle play in this map. Of course, then if my prior scenario, if they brought these two things for season 3, then there would have to be something new in these two slots. We go back to the 100 tier battle pass. And if basically what I'm saying is if season 4, for argument's sake, was a lot chunkier than it is here, and a lot of this stuff was brought over to the November update, and instead of calling it a winter update, just call it season 3. Boom, this is season 4. I feel like that would have fixed a lot of the public perception that this was a really mediocre roadmap. So I feel like it's a combination of obviously things being delayed and just a really weird decision not to just call this season 3, in my opinion. Now, even if they called this season 3 and this season 4, unless they did everything I just mentioned, I feel like people were going to hate on this roadmap anyway. I mean, it is what it is. It's not a very great roadmap. But for everything I just said, I think if they did what I just said, it would have been a way, way better roadmap, and less people would have had issues with it. And then obviously the biggest issue apparently that people had with this is, Joe Staten taking 10 seconds to quickly mention that the split screen co-op had just been canceled for whatever reason. Now, I'm not going to go too much into that. That was basically, I guess, the straw that broke the camel's back. A lot of people, once Joe was saying the split screen co-op was not only delayed, but it was canceled, that upset a lot of people. And then all you saw was like 100 videos that came out from so many different people saying that not only is Halo Infinite dead, but like Halo as like a franchise is dead. And there's a lot of people, and just a lot of big name people too, a lot of like really popular YouTube and streaming influencers came out and created videos saying that they were done with the franchise, that it's totally dead, and just everyone is up in arms about this roadmap and how split screen co-op has been canceled. Now I know of course I went off on a tangent on that, so this video is going to be longer than I wanted it to be, but I just wanted to make this video because there is two things that have to come out before we can rule Halo Infinite as a dead game, in my opinion. Now, the major thing that I saw is with the Happening event, this recent BTB Fiesta event that Halo Infinite has had shows that people enjoy the game when there's stuff to do. And that's the major thing, guys, is that, in my opinion, the biggest reason that people have fallen off this game, I mean, yeah, the technical issues suck, but it's mostly because there's no content. The content is just not there. But when there is new content that's fun, like the Yappening event, it shows that people have fun and they enjoy the game because the game is fun to play. It's just that we have nothing to do in the game currently. I mean, they even made a really cool trailer for the Yappening event that was way better than anything they've done in the past. I don't know if they just took more time doing it or they have had new people do it, but that was a really, really cool trailer. And I hope they continue to do that going forward. But it just shows that we have no content. And that's why everyone is up in arms right now, because this roadmap shows, content that's not up to par with what people thought was going to come. And of course, things being delayed and even canceled, like the split screen co op. So I completely understand why everyone is really upset. And I'm not happy with this roadmap either. But there's two things that have to come out, and that is Forge and Creative Assemblies. We're going to call it the Battle Royale mode because I think most people assume at this point that it's going to be a Battle Royale. So we're just going to say the BR mode by Creative Assembly. Now, in my opinion, we cannot count Halo Infinite down until those two things come out. I mean, the Forge beta, and they just recently released, this video. I'll just have it playing as I talk, so you have at least something to watch as I'm talking about stuff. But I mean, this video is just a snippet of what's coming in Forge. And then if you follow Forge leaks on Twitter, I mean, there is a ton of people making really cool shit with Forge. This has to come out before we count. This is the first thing that needs to come out before we count Halo Infinite out. In my opinion, the only thing that I really wish that 343 could have done was if they were able to get the custom games browser in time for the Forge launch. I think that's a bigger L than they're expecting it to be. I feel like having to wait 4 months for that custom games browser it really sucks, I'm not going to lie. But I mean, Forge itself is going to create, just an unbelievable amount of content. Talking about before, when I'm saying the reason why people have fallen off is because there's no content. Forge is going to create it's going to be overwhelming, honestly, how much content is going to come out for this. Talking about arena maps, BTB maps, there's going to be, parkour, and there's going to be action stack mini games, and there's going to be hundreds, if not, there's going to be thousands and thousands of different modes that people are going to create with this Forge system. And the stuff that they're going to make, like even now, where the budget and the simulation memory is not even at 100%, and people are just, testing like leaks and Forge leaks before it even officially releases with updates. People are already making like amazing shit. Now, just imagine when it officially comes out and gets the updates that it needs. I mean, when everyone has access to Forge, I just can't imagine the amount of content and different things that people are going to pull off with Forge. That alone would probably solve a ton of no content issues with Halo Infinite. And maybe if there's a little lull of official content when it comes to dev-made maps, battle passes and seasons and whatnot, I mean, Forge is going to fill in those gaps where people can just always have new experiences. And I know it sucks at first because there's no custom games browser. So, I mean, are people going to come? I feel like it's pretty fair to say that people who maybe dipped out of Halo Infinite after like a couple months or that first year are probably going to come back to check Forge out. I'm assuming that, that's pretty fair to say. Now, it does suck that there's no custom games browser, so they're not going to be able to easily find within the game itself all these cool modes. Like, they're going to have to go on Twitch streams and maybe go on Discord to see what's going on. So that does kind of blow, which is why I really wish that the custom games browser was ready for November. But to look on the bright side, when the Forge releases in November and people has had 4 months to make all this shit, once the custom games browser does come out in March, there's going to already be thousands and thousands of different, different shit in Forge that'll fill up the custom games browser immediately as it comes out. And even before the custom games browser, we don't even know if 343, I mean, I'm assuming that they're going to have some sort of matchmaking, like a separate Forge matchmaking playlist where 343 chooses, the coolest, creations that they see and they put it into matchmaking. I'm not saying they're going to put it in, maybe eventually, but not right away. They're not going to put it in like quick play or like a ranked playlist, but they'll make a new playlist where there's going to be a bunch of different Forge creations that people make. And if they're smart about it, they can rotate out, the maps that they use for that playlist on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. There's going to be so much stuff that's being pumped into the game or pumped into Forge that they could easily rotate playlists and maps and game modes within that Forge playlist. And this is, if they're smart, they're going to do that as soon as it comes out, to be quite honest with you. And then once the custom games browser comes out, you're going to have an in-game solution to finding a whole bunch of shit. So, in my opinion, that's the very first thing that has to come out. And with the custom games browser, and we don't know what these updates are, but there's going to be even more Forge updates in March when the custom games browser comes out. We cannot call, I'm sorry guys, but we cannot call Halo Infinite a dead game until at least Forge comes out. I'm sorry. The big question is, Forge might bring back people who are Halo fans and maybe dipped out the first few months once they finish with the Battle Pass and there's, 6-month seasons and they're like, this is kind of whack. Is it going to bring brand new people back or into Halo Infinite? That's the big question. I mean, if word of mouth is super positive, where people saying, there's crazy shit being made in Forge, you never know. I mean, Halo Infinite is a free to play game. You can download it and you'll be able to play Forge. So, if the word of mouth is that good with Forge, it's safe to say that it is going to boost the population. And if it, turns out it's an amazing success, as I'm expecting it to be, there's no way you can say that Halo Infinite is a dead game before this even comes out. This has to come out first. And I'll quickly show the last map they showed off that a Forge council member did quickly, as just to show off in this video that 343 came into, and it shows like a really cool cyberpunk themed, gritty sort of city 4v4 map. I mean, this map looks. I'm not going to show off the entire map this video. I'll kind of skip around. I mean, this map for something and for a 65% simulation load for a map that was made quickly to showcase in this video, this map looks phenomenal. Like, this map looks almost as good as a dev made map, honestly. And that's what Lucid was saying in one of his streams when he was watching this video. He's like, guys, this looks better than Livefire. It's like, this looks on par almost with Streets. Like, this looks almost as good as a dev made in-house map. And it was made by someone just quickly thrown together to be featured on this video. Now imagine if people, when it officially comes out and people have more time to tailor made and even craft better experiences than this. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg, and then this is like a very early rendition of a map that's made. I mean, now just imagine this Forge system that's been out for 4 months, that's been out for half a year, or it's been out for a year with updates in a custom games browser. I mean, you can't tell me that Halo Infinite is a dead game before this shit even comes out for the masses to take part in. The second thing that needs to come out before you call Halo Infinite a dead game, and this is even more important than Forge, in my opinion, is this big Battle Royale mode that Creative Assembly has apparently been developing for the past 2 years. Obviously, Battle Royale at this point is not a fad. Obviously, it's been the most popular game mode for years and years and years. And even though 343 sort of joked before the game launched that the only BR mode and or the only BR in Halo Infinite is going to be the battle rifle, well, that quickly changed, and I don't blame them because it's going to be a really big mode in my opinion. Um, the only thing that's worrying, I guess, not really. I'm trying to think of the word. It's not worrying. It's just we haven't seen a single thing in regard to this mode from Creative Assembly. So a lot of people are expecting this to come out late next year, probably this time next year is when we're expecting the Creative Assemblies mode to come out around like season 4, season 5 ish. Um, I really, that's just rumors. I mean, I'm really hoping it comes out before then. Maybe during summer would be pretty cool. Second quarter of next year would be really cool. I mean, that's pushing it a little bit. It does suck having to wait another full year for this potential mode to come out, but we don't even know what it looks like. But we're assuming it's going to be a really, I mean, if you think about it, Creative Assembly have created some great shit for 343 in the past, and the fact that they've been working on this mode for years and years, couple years, and then up until the point it comes out, with 3 full years working on this huge multiplayer battle royale for Halo Infinite. I mean, this mode could literally save the game. If this mode is fire when it comes out and it pops off and it gets all the popular streamers, YouTube, Twitch streamers to come out, play the battle royale, it's an awesome game mode and it gets people to play again. I mean, the sky's the limit for the game if that happens. And you have Creative Assembly handling the battle, their battle royale mode. And then a year from now, you still have 343 have an improved content cadence now where they're not having 6 month season, but they're having 3 to 4 month seasons, and they're still adding, their typical arena maps, BTB maps, new sandbox elements with new weapons, new equipment, they live service team handling battle passes and cosmetics, and you have the Forge creation, the Forge team, and all people creating Forge content for the custom games browser. I mean, you have the HCS side of the competitive side doing well, hopefully at that point. I mean, if you have all those things working in tandem, how can you possibly say at this point that, Halo Infinite's a dead game, man? Like, no one's going to be playing this game. When everything I just said could be a very real possibility. That's my take on why it's very premature to say that Halo Infinite, especially Halo as a franchise, is dead. I mean, that's that is insane for me. Saying that the Halo franchise itself is dead because of this Halo Infinite roadmap and canceling split screen, it's ludicrous. It's ludicrous to me that people would say that. And there's like 100 videos of people saying that. And I don't know. It's just, to me, that's very premature. People are trying to get their clicks and their views or whatnot, trying to jump on the hate bandwagon. But I mean, realistically, you cannot say that the game is dead until we get Forge and until we get Creative Assemblies mode. And then it goes back to the main reason why I think this game has dipped, and why a lot of people don't play it as much is because there's no content. And then if you take those two things, not to mention, hopefully by that point you also have some sort of Spartan career, because that's the thing too. Like, a lot of people are playing this game and they're not being rewarded with their time. There's nothing to grind for. There's no Spartan career progression system. There's no commendation challenge system with rewards. Once you finish the battle pass in 2 months in a 6 month season, and the only thing left to do is get weekly capstone rewards, you could do the weekly capstone in one day. So it comes out on Tuesday and you're done with it by Wednesday. Now you finish the battle pass and now you're done with the weekly. There's nothing else to do. You can play for fun, but the game is not rewarding your time. So that's why a lot of people dipped, and then there's no variety. There's no maps, there's no Forge, there's no content. So why play, When you have stuff like the Happening event, people come back and play because it's something new and it's enjoyable. So once they get the Spartan career progression system in place, so it rewards your time, at least with a visual rank, and then there's some sort of Like I'm not sure why they got rid of like the Halo 5 commendation system. They could have really expanded on that system. Just a very quick example, like say, battle rifle headshot kills, where you have tiers where the first tier is like 100, then it goes to 250, 500, 1,000, 2,500, 5,000, and the final tier is 10,000 battle rifle kills. And each tier that you complete, you get a reward. So like maybe the first couple rewards are nothing too crazy. Maybe it's like a simple nameplate or a weapon emblem or something like that. And once you get to the final tiers, maybe you get like a really cool armor coating for 5,000, and then finally, if you complete the 10,000 battle rifle headshot kills, you get a really exclusive and cool looking battle, a coating for the battle rifle that you can't buy in the store. And the only way to get it is to earn it by grinding the game like that. So then you actually see people in game with that battle rifle skin, and you're thinking, oh shit, man. Not that it's very skillful, but it takes time to get 10,000 battle rifle headshot kills. And then it's not tied also to a single mode. Any mode that has a battle rifle, you can grind this challenge. And if you see people with that battle rifle skin, you can safely say like, oh shit, man, that guy is like a hardcore grinder, man. He's played a lot of matches. Just something to show off to the community, where like right now all the progression, everything is just bought either through the battle pass or the store. So there's nothing to really grind for. There's nothing to really show off with pride. So when you're playing, you're not getting anything. And that is why that's why the population has dipped. So if you add all those things in to reward people's time with grinding mechanics such as the Spartan career progression system, you have a combination challenge system that unlocks, specific exclusive rewards just for those challenges. And then you add everything else on top of it in terms of content with Forge custom games browser, the battle royale mode that's going to get continually updated. And this is the last point I want to make, guys, too, is that one of the biggest things, I know this video is going to go crazy long now, so I do apologize. If you're still listening to this, by the way, you are you are the man if you were still listening to me ramble at this point. But the last thing I want to point out, and this is something I wanted to talk about, but I totally forgot just until now, until I said Forge, is one of the key things with this Battle Royale mode from Creative Assembly is they have said that it's going to have heavy workings with Forge. What does this mean? Who knows? We could take Creative Assembly's base map, whatever it is, whether it's Zeta Halo or just some huge map, and imagine if they're just like, okay guys, you can take this huge battle royale canvas into Forge and you can make your own battle royale map. Now you can take what we made and you can add stuff, remove stuff, make changes, small changes here and there, or you can start with a completely blank slate and literally make your own battle royale mode, and then you can upload that to the custom games browser and anyone can play it. I mean, that, if you think about it, having the tool set that Forge is going to have, combine that with people making their own like humongous battle royale maps in Creative Assembly's mode, and then just being able to upload your creation to the custom games browser where thousands of people can just join your game and just play your map. I mean, that is unprecedented for any sort of battle royale mode. So if the mode itself pops off and everyone loves it, and you can take into the fact that it's completely customizable with Forge, the possibilities are endless when it comes to what you can play. So that's another thing you have to take into account, where you still have that. You have regular Forge, you have Spartan career progression system, you have the commendation system, you have HCS kicking off, you have 343 still working on dev-made maps for BTB, Arena, new weapons, new sandbox items, new store content, new battle passes. I mean, if all those things work in tandem and they get their content cadence up, this time next year, if all those things come into fruition, how can you possibly say that this game is dead? If anything, this game is going to pop off, and then everyone's going to be like, holy shit, this game really had a big resurgence. So that's sort of my outlook on this. And I know I talked a lot and added a lot of things that I probably didn't want to add just talking about this stuff, but the main two takeaways that this video was meant basically as like the main bullet points is Forge and Creative Assembly's Battle Royale mode. Those are the two things. To me personally, you cannot say Halo Infinite is a dead game until those two things come out. And if those two things come out and they fail, then you can say that Halo Infinite is a dead game. I know that was a pretty long video. Like I said, if you're actually still here listening to this, you are a crazy person. But if you are still here, let me know if you agree with that down in the comment section. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are probably just going to see the thumbnail for this video and not actually watch the video and just completely hate it, call me a 343 shill or whatever. But honestly, like if you think my outlook is too optimistic or it's too much copium, I mean, let me know. I feel like my outlook is not like so crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like saying wait till Forge and wait till the Battle Royale mode comes out before we count this game out. Like I don't think that's a very like outlandish opinion to have in my opinion. But if you think it is, let me know. But yeah, that's the video. And again, thanks for watching so much if you are still here. And I'll see you next time. Take it easy, guys. Bye.